sometimes get
Zen.
I'm feeling this is a pretty cool place, though, right? You
It's
weren't
very
you haven't
cool.
been in this?
No,
joint.
I have not been in here.
I mean, it's pretty nice and doing that. I mean, it's a fun deal.
It's totally cool.
Okay, all right, and it's
Even better.
okay.
Yes, even better.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, thank you for coming here. So we'll get started. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Lee with Omaha Sips and Tips with your realtor at Nebraska Realty. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in for our 5th show, which is a special, and I have a special guest here. But real quick before we get started, I just wanted to say, hey, if you're looking to sell your home and you already know a realtor, that's good for you. You should use them. But if you don't know anybody and you just kind of want to see where the market's at, I hope you look at me, give me a call, Sean Lee at Nebraska Realty, and I'll have my name and email and phone number because I got that fancy thing under here. Okay, so let me introduce my guest, Deanna, and go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you, Sean. Thanks so much for having me. I am Deanna Albertson, and I am with Vino Mas. We are your local wine store, and if we're not your local wine store, we should be. We are located at 144th and Eagle Run Drive. We are right next to Blue Sushi. Can't miss us.
You cannot miss them. Mm-hmm. I've been there a few times. Do you know, I don't know if you know this, but I did join the wine club.
Actually, I do. I was just told you did. So
I was thinking, geez, well, maybe you could bring the wine because, I'm close by, but I guess I just have to drive over and pick up my bottles of wine.
You need to drive over, because this way, if you drive over to pick it up, maybe you'll pick more up.
Ooh.
Yeah, because holiday.
That's how it is.
Yes.
So if for people who don't know and you're moving to Omaha or you're like, hey, what's a scoop around here? A 144th and Maple type area. Mm-hmm. Stop in and get some wine. And we're going to talk a little bit about the wine club and things that you offer there. But
right.
Why don't you enlighten me about this world and this wine and what's going on? We've talked before, and you're so good at just chit-chatting about, you know a lot about wine.
I know a little bit about it.
No, you know a lot about wine. So I love it. So let's, what do you got for me? Tell me what we got here.
All right. Well, first, you have mentioned the wine club, so I want to talk a little bit about our wine club. Okay. We, at Vino Mas, have a wine club, and I know a lot of people just love their cabs, and you love your Chardonnays, and your Sauvignon Blancs, and your Pinot Gris, or Zinfandel. But the biggest thing about the wine club is it gets you out of your comfort zone. Come in. We're going to introduce you to wines from all over the entire world. It's $40 a month. You get 2 bottles of wine. And with that, you also get free tastings every single Friday night. And we have tiered discounts within the store. And my very first wine that I brought today, which, by the way, both of these wines will be perfect if you are celebrating Easter this weekend and you are having a traditional meal. And even if you're not, they're still going to go well with it. But I want to talk a little bit about this wine first so we can get a little in our glass because I think we're getting a little thirsty here.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I need something to sip on. I know that.
We do.
And when you said this will go great with your Easter, it pairs well, I guess.
Yes,
and you do this all the time. Don't you go places and pair food and talk about wine? So this is the great thing. And you probably need 2-3 bottles of this. And you can't just go anywhere for this.
You absolutely cannot. So this very first wine we're going to talk about, it is our white wine for Vino Mas this month for our wine club. It's from Armenia. So I am kind of giddy about these wines this month because I happen to be Armenian, and you can't find Armenian wines in Omaha, much less the state of Nebraska.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you this. How do you decide? I know you probably do a lot of wines. I know you travel a lot. You go to, California a while back. Like, how would you know, hey, this Armenian wine, I like it? Because you know so much research about stuff, so what's the scoop with that?
Well, okay, first of all, we are in Nebraska, so it's a 3-tier system. So unfortunately, I am not one that can just travel the world and say, these are the wines I want to bring back to Nebraska and to our wine club members. You can't do it. I have to go through a distributor. So what I do is I work with all the distributors in the state of Nebraska. They then hope bring in wines through different portfolios. Okay. With my wine club, we happen to have the largest wine club in the state of Nebraska, so we have our distributors are actually looking for wines for the wine club that are very reasonably priced and that are going to be good. I try hundreds of wines. As you go through wines, what I'm looking for is what's going to be a wine that maybe people haven't had, or what's going to go over well. Because I'm buying not for me. I'm buying for the majority of the wine club members, and even then, most of the wine club memberships have 2 people on them. So if you're looking that you have 400 wine club members, I'm trying to find wines to appease 800 people. So there is a process of elimination, and it is a process. However, there'll be some months that'll be hits, some months maybe misses, depending on where your palate is.
Okay.
But let's try this, and I'll talk a little bit about this.
Let's talk about this wine.
I mean, we're sitting here getting thirstier and thirstier.
First of all, my first thing I'm saying is so you don't fill it all the way to the top, because that would be my first error.
That would be you've only had one glass, right? Just one glass.
Just one glass.
Is
that
really.
Okay?
You don't go all the way to the top. We've actually got about 2 ounces here.
Okay.
Average pour is about 5 ounces.
All right.
And what you want to do is, of course, we're going to swirl it some. Then we're going to open those esters up. And what that means is we are taking the alcohol molecules or hitting up against the acid molecules, and they are opening up those aromas. So this wine right here, and this is the bottle right here. It's a Vascahat. That is Vascahat. Say that 3 times fast.
Well, I don't want to have to bleep anything out if I say that too fast. Vascahat. Vascahat.
Okay. So this is, again, from Armenia. Armenia is actually in southwestern Asia, for those of you that don't know. And you've got Iran on one side and Turkey on the other side.
Okay.
We're in Holy Week. And when you think about that, it's where Mount Ararat is, where Noah's Ark landed.
Right.
It's right in between Armenia and Turkey.
Here we go.
So there you go.
This is from, okay, so.
It's from the Holy Land.
So I'm swirling. This is about the best swirl I get. And then I'm going to sniff it.
Sniff it. And I want you to tell me, what are you getting off of this?
So I should sip it now.
You can sip it and smell it. You should do both. But not at the same time. Are there any flavors or anything that's jumping out at you?
I got a little bit of a twang at the end. I mean, I don't know how to identify. Is it citrusy? I mean, is that...
Yes. Very good. Hey, you're getting good at this.
Okay. All right. I'm way better now than I am in the mornings when you bring it and let us taste it. Yeah, at 8:30 in the morning. I'm way better now. Okay. It's a little citric-y. Yeah. Okay.
So I get a little yellow kiwi on it. So some yellow kiwi, definitely your citrus, with a little bit of an herbal backbone to it. This wine I just think is absolutely beautiful. It has a little creaminess on it. It will go with a lot of different foods, and really this is a kind of a year-round white. It's not super, super thin. I love it. It'll go great with your ham, your salads, your Brussels sprouts, your carrots. If you're going to have peeps, and that's going to be your whole thing for Sunday. This will go fine with
peeps and wine. You could do it.
Absolutely.
What else would this? Can you do this with? What other standard traditional meats would you be able? You think that would go? Is that like a steak, like a T-bone?
Nope, absolutely not. So if you put this with a T-bone, what's going to happen? T-bones have a lot of protein, a lot of fat in it. This is actually not going to pair well. It'll make your wine taste almost bitter and metallic.
Is that right?
And your T-bone's not going to taste very flavorful. It won't go well. However, what this will go well with is you have fish. It'll go very well with pork. It'll go well with ham. It'll go well with chicken, depending on the dishes. One thing about wine, there really are no hard and fast rules. If you want to have this with a T-bone, go right ahead. Really, tip, drink what you like.
There we go.
There you go.
There's the first tip. I'm going to pop it up. I'll pop it up on the screen. Tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Drink what you like. Okay, well, I mean, because I'm just thinking, wow, is this like T-bone wine?
No,
is this okay?
But it's also
it's
patio
good ham wine.
It's just a great wine to sit on your
back
patio
deck.
and just drink.
Okay.
Just drink.
I'm probably not
There you
going to
go.
have any problem
we can
with
drink to that.
There
Just
you go.
drink to
We
that.
can.
There
We'll
you
just
go.
do it.
So one thing real quick, just to kind of tell you a little bit about the Vascahat grape.
Yeah.
It is when the Soviet Union absorbed Armenia in 1921, they didn't grow as much of it. It's actually the most widely planted varietal in Armenia. But what the Soviet Union started doing with it is they started using it for sherry and for brandy. So really to fortify wines. It's only been in recent years that more and more of the vines have been planted, and now they're doing 100% in wine, and they're importing into the United States.
Okay.
Just
Holy,
kind of it's just a fun little wine, and this is our white for this month.
And
for
you
our
get
wine club.
you get the full history of these wines. Let me ask you, if this is this the wine club wine?
It is a
that's
wine
on
club
there?
wine. Yep,
Okay,
our
so
white wine.
on the wine club wine, I mean, you get all that information. Don't you send
Absolutely.
out like an email
Yes.
or some kind of
Yep.
information?
Well, couple things, yes.
Okay.
So we send out an email. Like I have my email going out tomorrow. We also have a full blog on our website. You can go to vinomas.com, go to the news and wine blog. All the information's there. And every month I pair recipes with it. I happen to pair with this one a cauliflower and crab gratin. Oh my goodness, so good with it. It was perfect with it. And guess what? That's what I'm bringing for my Easter dish, along with this wine this Sunday.
I wish you would have brought some of the gratin right
Oh,
now.
I should have. Doesn't it sound good? Yum.
I think it would have been great, but that's just, as a side note.
Side note.
If anybody hears any buzzing in this show, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting cold, but
I'm not,
forget
because
it.
I turned my phone
She's
off,
not
by the
because
way.
she's professional.
I turned my phone off.
Showing up here. She's like, hey, turn this off. So if you hear any buzzing, it's not her, it's me,
Sean.
and I'm the problem. Okay, so you get pairing stuff, you get an email.
Get an
I mean,
email.
that's just part of,
It's all part
for the club.
If you drink 2 bottles a month, which I won't say month or a night, but it's 2 bottles. It's a no-brainer. Come in and see us, and you get to try lots of different wines. Plus, we have an amazing staff, and we can help you pick out all your other wines. And we're geared to the everyday drinker.
Okay.
Majority of wines in the store are going to be under $25. So we've got wines a lot more, but the majority are under $25.
Okay.
Can't beat it.
I like this wine.
Isn't it good?
This is good wine. Yeah. On the normal ratings, of course, the people here doing this Vodka Hot.
Alaska Hot.
It's just now, sometimes they talk about like Cabernet Sauvignons and stuff like this. What is the white wines? No, they don't have those separations.
Yes, that's what this is. So
Okay,
Cabernet
so it's
Sauvignon is the varietal.
Got it.
This one, the Vodka Hot, is a varietal. It's the Queen White of Armenia, and Vodka Hot means golden seed in English.
I think this is a perfect dish for some friends that need to be, when you're around the campfire, just sipping around out under the campers in the middle of
especially
Kansas.
when it's hot, this is a perfect wine for it.
Okay.
So all right, so you know
All right,
what? That's what we need to do. We
all
need to
right.
go camping. We need to go camping and drink more wine, right?
It was great. Okay, so this is great, and you brought a red too. This
I
is the
did
most
bring a
fantastic thing. Now, I was on your website, and I was noticing you have a lot of events.
We do have a lot of events, and that's one thing that actually kind of separates us from a lot of other wine stores, and there's a lot of great wine stores in Omaha. I am one. Visit all your local wine stores. Yes, you can go to Hy-Vee's and other places to get your groceries, but visit a lot of us. We are all over Omaha. We will all carry different types of wines, and you will have knowledgeable staff at the wine stores to help you pick out wines that will meet your palate. And if you don't like wine, come on into Vino Mas because we will get that changed for you.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
Okay, so one of the events I noticed, there's jam session.
We do
What is
have a
that?
jam session that's
Okay.
every Wednesday night. So if you play an instrument or you sing, come on in between 6 and 8. They just come in. You get together between usually 4 to 10 people. Could be 14, 15. I don't control that, so it's whoever
So people
shows
just show up
just
and
show
they
up
just-
and just jam.
Okay.
You just jump in. And guys, these people are good. But if you're not that great and you're trying to learn, they're very welcoming and just show up.
Okay, wow.
On
And
Wednesday
then,
nights.
well, let me see. Thursday nights is
Thursday and Saturday nights we have live music. Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8:30, and Saturday nights from 7 to 9:30. Live music. Just come in and just relax, sip a little, and listen. It's a fun night.
The fun thing is that there's just plenty of wine there, and there is beer for some of those jokers
absolutely.
who do like beer.
I like beer.
Which is me.
I mean, but that being, okay,
but there's wine and beer,
there's wine and beer,
which
We
I've
have
done.
both.
Okay,
Yes, and
so we've
that's
got
okay.
those. And well, I'll let you talk about this next one. This red wine. It's
All right. Okay.
I'll
we'll talk a
I'll
little bit
stir
about
it.
this. Okay.
I mean,
So
wave
what are
it,
we doing? Did you listen?
swirling it,
And
swishing
volatilizing
it,
the
and
esters.
volatilizing the esters.
Okay,
getting it
so
going.
what we're drinking here is we're drinking a Ken Wright Cellars, a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. Willamette Valley is in Oregon. Oregon, that entire valley for Willamette is about 100 miles long, 60 miles wide. It is nestled in between the Oregon Mountain Range and the Cascade Mountains. Because of those two mountain ranges, it's a little bit cooler of a climate. Pinot Noir shines in that area. And this right here, Ken Wright, is a very good representation of Willamette Valley Pinot Noirs. We carry it, and the reason I brought this one, we've got a lot of them. That's what I go to. But if you look at this bottle, look at the bottle. The bottle has a hummingbird. It's got a robin. It's got a cardinal. It's got flowers, a butterfly, bushes. What does this signify? Spring is here.
Welcome spring. I was
spring.
like, that's kind of a nice looking cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Or label.
A label.
Not a cover,
And guess
it's a
what? This
label.
will go really well with ham. It'll go really well with any type of barbecue. It's going to go well with anything that you make or just to drink.
I think
let's
the
try it.
esters that you have gotten out of yours is way better than mine, because sometimes mine just goes back and forth. This wine.
Okay,
But
it's not because you're
I'm-
going like this.
I'm trying to.
How much did you have to drink before?
I'm trying not to do that before I do the show.
So smell
Okay.
it and tell me what you get out of it.
It smells delicious. First of all.
Okay.
Let me see. I really enjoy that.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Pinot Noir is great. I definitely get some cherry, some plum, a little bit of red raspberry, some clove. Get a little cinnamon notes.
It almost tastes a little smoky to me at the end of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
So I
it
picked
sees
it.
a little. Oh, yep, absolutely.
Holy smokes! Yeah, I can taste it. It's really nice.
It's delicious. Right now we're pouring it by the glass too, but it's a Wine Club members. It's a $30 bottle, so it is a little higher.
Okay.
But absolutely over drinks for the price, and it's delicious.
Okay, wow, that's really good. Now, on the Wine Club, is there a certain you could do 3 bottles, or is it just basically the 2 bottles? That would not be in the Wine Club.
This is not in the Wine Club
It's
this
never been-
month.
okay.
But the way the Wine Club works is you can do a red white, a white, 2 reds, or you can do 3 bottles,
Okay.
which would be 2 whites and a red.
Gotcha,
And that's up to you.
gotcha.
Come on in. We'll talk you through all that. But here's again another little tip on wine.
Okay, yeah, I
is
like it.
Wine, don't overthink it. Wine is just fermented grape juice. That's all it is.
I love it. I do love it. It's very powerful
We're
for
gonna make you.
me. I mean, I like wine. I just the problem is I think I drink 2 bottles of it, and then that's part of the problem.
Well,
Is that okay?
I don't see
Okay,
that
enough
as a problem.
said. I know. Okay, we got that.
I'm
Yeah.
the wrong person to ask.
Okay, well, that's
Cheers
what
to
you
that,
get. But you know what? They say there's a lot of health stuff in red wines.
There
So
it is.
there you have it.
Resveratrol. Especially in Pinot Noir. Actually, Pinot Noir has the highest resveratrol of any other variety. So there you go.
Oh.
We're drinking to our health, our heart, our brain.
We finished this off just right.
Exactly.
What now? Wasn't there something? I remember you saying something about the sweeter a wine is, the less alcohol. Is that right?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
See, I've learned.
You've
I've learned.
You've learned.
Okay, so
Especially at 8:30 in the morning, sometimes it's hard to actually absorb
that's
some
true.
of that.
That's true.
So we'll talk a little bit about Riesling.
Okay.
Riesling is definitely misunderstood. And by the way, that is a perfect wine for summer and especially for your holiday weekend. People think Rieslings go from super sweet and they are not dry, but you can go from sweet to dry. And the way you can tell, and this is pretty much with any wine, always look at that alcohol content. The lower the alcohol content, generally the sweeter it's going to be. Think Moscato, 5.5%, 6%.
Okay.
And then the higher, the drier. Think Cabernet, which will be 14.5 to 15%.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so that's educational right now, because I know a lot of times I walk up and down a wine aisle or wherever. I don't have to anymore because I'm part of the wine club.
And because you have me to tell you
But
what
yeah,
you
that's
like.
right. But I walk in and you just don't know what you're looking for. So even if you liked a sweeter wine, you would want to look for a lower
lower
alcohol
right.
content, so you could kind of at least get that.
Right.
Instead, because I think some people think, wow, that looks really good, but it's really 15%.
Right, 15%.
And it's
which
really
means
dry. It's
now,
okay.
Here's the other thing, though, people will do. They're like, oh, that's only 10.5%. I want the higher alcohol.
Yeah, well, those people are crazy wine drinkers.
Yes.
So we don't want to have any of that.
No, and that does not equate to beer, by the way.
Okay, it does not equate.
not equate to beer, just wine.
Alcohol and wine.
Yes.
So I was just thinking maybe.
So, hey,
but there's no correlation.
no,
Yeah.
no
What
problem.
else you got?
Well,
You got tons of information.
I have some information here.
People will love this information, especially wine going into the holiday and the spring.
Well, and actually going into spring, let's segue into that, because I know in the spring, as far as selling houses, there's more houses that come on the market. I do realize that you don't have many houses on the market right now and you need them. But what I have a question for you is, how has the housing market changed from pre-COVID to today's times?
Well, people want to stay in their homes longer. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first thing, especially in Omaha. And we're kind of in the housing market is not going to crash. What's going to happen is people are going to get upset because there's not enough housing.
Well,
there's not enough housing. People have been selling all this time, and most of the sellers now are just staying in their home. And I was telling somebody else on a show is that, I've been in my home we've owned it 17, 18 years.
Mine's
You've probably
almost 22.
So it's kind of, a lot more people are just staying. Hey, This is where we're at. We refinanced at
3% or 3.5%.
And now, geez, I don't want to pay 7%. Because all those points, percentage points, that's a lot of money in a monthly payment. So,
but
people,
from my understanding, I mean, guys, really, when we refinanced or we bought our homes at 3.5%, even 4%, but that was not the normal.
That's true.
Wouldn't you say that really where we're going and where we are is going to be more of our norm?
This is a really good question. Most people aren't prepared, Deanna, like you are right now. Okay, I should have gathered that with all your quality information that you've got on wine, but the real interest rate is always 6.5% to 7.5%. Okay. I mean, that's where we're at.
Right.
It was a bonus back then, so I think people see, yikes, maybe we need to, we'll wait till it gets back.
Right.
It's not going to come back down. It can't. The Fed keeps raising its rate, so it's just, people make a comment. You marry the house and date the rate.
Oh,
which means you marry the house, you love it, and then you wait till the rate comes down and you refinance, which is probably about 1 point. So,
right.
Those are some. It's crazy. I was talking this morning with some people. We have more houses in the $600,000 and up in the Omaha market than we do from $350,000 down, and normally it's totally
opposite.
reversed, you would think.
Right.
But, that we just don't have enough affordable type of housing for people just because people are staying.
We're staying.
So long.
Right, we're staying in place.
Because people want us to move or upgrade or go to assisted living or independent living or something so that there's spots opening up. Right. So, I mean, we'll make it through. But inventory is going up, so I'm sorry to talk so much on that.
That's great.
Yeah.
And by the way, we won't be going in assisted living anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right.
Why? Because we're wine drinkers.
We're wine drinkers. We're drinking for Reservatol.
Resveratrol. But the other thing about wine, it has been proven over and over. Not only is it good for your health, but it's also good for your emotional health.
Oh,
and when you are happier, because come on, how can you not be happy when you're drinking a glass of wine?
I'm pretty happy about it.
And when
Mine's
you're happy,
empty.
you feel better. But, okay, you are empty. So,
I am empty.
So real quick, I am now going to pivot one more time on a segue since we're empty. So I watched your very first podcast with
you
Adrian.
did? Yes.
And it was hilarious, I have to say.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, you've been through enough presentations with me.
Yeah.
You know I'm a little bit of a glass snob, right?
Yes,
okay.
you are.
So,
yes, you are. Yeah, because we used plastic on that first. We did plastic on that first show.
You did. So we are going to change that.
Yay!
Here we go.
I have my I have my glasses upstairs. You know, I did buy new glass. Oh,
no.
Is this what you normally use?
Yes. Yes.
So you're pulling out the...
I'm pulling out the Uncle Nearest 1856. This is a premium Tennessee whiskey.
Folks, this is a surprise. This is a surprise deal, what we have happening right now.
For those of you that have not seen the very first podcast with Adrian, you've got to go back and watch it. Again, absolutely hilarious. And I've known Sean and I've known Adrian for years and years and years. We worked at a local nonprofit together years ago.
Yikes.
Well, when they had a bottle of whiskey on the table.
We did.
And they had solo cups.
We did. They're plastic solo cups.
They're plastic
You're
solo
right.
cups. And I am a wine snob, whether it comes to wine, beer, or whiskeys. Well, when you watch that, you're going to laugh when you see Sean's face when he takes a sip of it. So we're going to try this again with a little bit of a different whiskey. He had a local whiskey, which was amazing, but we're going to try this with a Tennessee whiskey.
And this is, these are cool glasses. I appreciate you bringing these glasses. And you also have plenty of distilled drinks at your place also. So
we carry our wine. We do have beer for people that come in and beer. And then we also do carry a small selection of whiskeys, bourbons, and scotches, not only to drink in the store, but also to sell. And most of them are boutique. This is amazing. If you know anything about Uncle Nearest, they do in 1856, they do the 1824. They also do a rye, which is absolutely fantastic. Come on in. And here I'm going to give you a little tip, and we'll see if Sean knows the answer to this. So, you ready?
Go. Yeah.
Okay. Why are there two different spellings of whiskey? It's W-H-I-S-K-E-Y. Do you know?
Do you know what? Because we did have a W-H-I-S-K-Y.
And I talked about this before.
We did. You know what? I can't remember. It's probably because did we drink any of it?
We did. We did.
Okay. I was in a learning stage. I cannot remember. Why is it that way?
Well, here's your tip. Here's your whiskey tip for the day.
Let's do it. Whiskey.
If the country of origin of where it was distilled has an E in it, so United States has an E in it, our whiskeys will be spelled with an E, W-H-I-S-K-E-Y. If the country does not, we'll take Scotland, does not have an E, there's not an E in the spelling whiskey.
It's W-H-I-S-K-Y.
Exactly. Isn't that interesting?
So let me... Yeah, it is. That's a tip.
Okay,
most people should...
Tip.
We drink the whole thing on this. Are we gonna?
Well, this is a sipper. If you want to shoot it, you go right ahead.
I'm not going to shoot it. I'm just going to take a little sippy.
It's delicious. Now,
it's smooth.
I'm going to give you a little bit of water.
Smooth. Okay.
Because a couple drops of water will actually open it up.
Okay. I'm getting the esters out.
No, you don't want to do that.
Okay, don't do it.
You don't want to volatilize the esters on
volatilizing
alcohol
esters.
on this. You do not.
Okay.
So see if it tastes different with a little bit of water. That is so good.
Yeah.
Is it better out of a glass than out of a plastic
Well,
glass?
it is. Yes. You know what? I did have to buy whiskey type of glasses just because I was so embarrassed about that.
It was hilarious.
Plastic.
What do you smell? What did Sean say? Plastic.
Plastic. You know what? It was terrible. I feel so bad for those guys. We've switched it up since then, so we do have glass, and I appreciate you, bringing this stuff. This is pretty good too.
Is it pretty good?
Well, we love all of our local vendors and businesses here in
do.
Nebraska.
We do.
And you should go to Vino Mas. Is there anything I'm missing at Vino Mas that you guys do or that we should bring up while we're here?
While we're here, probably the last thing is just come in and see us. If you're not a wine drinker, come on in. We can make you one because what I always say, you just haven't had the right wine. Come in and talk to us. One thing that we have the advantage, the local store has the advantage than going into a retail big box store is we've got several wines on tap where we sell by the glass. We can have you taste through some wines, and through tasting through those wines, we can figure out where to put you on your palate. We've got wines ranging from very sweet, but not just Moscato. We've got Brachetto, we've got Mauza Blanc, we have Malvasia, and then we go all the way up to all different varieties from all over the world. Last month's wine club were from Turkey, and it was from Hungary. So when you think about all that, you're going to get exposed to a tremendous amount of wine with a lot of different flavor palettes. And like I said, we can make anybody into a wine drinker. Give us a chance.
You know, it's funny because I just want to say real quick, the guy that sets this stuff up for us, he's like, hey, you know, I'm not the biggest wine drinker. And the first thing you said is, we can make you a wine drinker. I know you're just not drinking the right wine. And I think that's true.
I absolutely think it's true.
You can find somebody.
And the one thing I do want to add in there is if you are not a drinker, and that's okay for whatever reason, I know a lot of people that have never drank in their life. We do have a really good selection of NA wines, as well as we have a couple of NA beers. But our wines, we carry from a Sauvignon Blanc, we have a Cabernet, we have a Riesling, we have a Sparkling Brut, a Sparkling Riesling, and those are all NA.
Shoot, you know what? And I should have put this in the middle of the show, but what's your website, just in case? Because in case you didn't know, this is on Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So but go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. But you do have a website, which is
vinomas.com. Makes it nice and easy. VINOMAS.com.
And you will love it. Because it's very organized and set up. So check it out. Yep, go ahead.
Say thank you so much for having me. This has been just absolutely a blast.
I appreciate you coming. This is good times. There's so much alcohol here. Normally we just do the one drink, but there's a lot of wines. We're gonna finish
and I expect you to drink this
we are gonna drink the rest of these things up. Again, we might need an Uber. Hey, I'm Sean Lee with Nebraska Realty. Thanks for joining us here with Omaha Sips and Tips with the local, business, small business here in town with Vino Mas and Deanna. And you go check them out, 144th. And Maple is the main location, but you can look them up, vinomas.com. And get out there. Get in the wine club.
Exactly.
I love it.
All right,
That's going to be great. Thanks. Cheers. Have a good one.